Blessed ones of the nations of the world, one more time, this is your brother Dan Moses Osei Osakode of TRC Ghana, coming your way with the program Testimony New World Disorder on this 5th of May 2021, Wednesday, being recorded on the 4th of May 2021. We are hearing the secret sale of a Ghanaian on the 21st century, not on the slave ship of Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria, just like my fathers were sold into the West Indies, America, as slaves. This time, the 21st century, I was sold on an airline, Ghana Airways, into the soil of America. Akufo to the program Testimony New World Disorder. Humanity and the nations of the world. I'm saying that we should go find out that Muslim woman is not dead. She is not dead, she's alive. Why were they not able to meet me at the International Criminal Court, at the ICC Hague, to tell the court that this is the crime I committed against that Muslim woman, for which reason they must go about and kill innocent Muslims of the nations of the world in the handful Osama bin Laden, kill innocent Ghanaians of the nation and kill Kofi Annan in secrecy. Why did they not do that? The woman is alive. If you're a Muslim in Ghana and on any part of the nation, think. That is how evil they are. They have no value for the Muslims of the nation Ghana or any part of the world. I am a Christian. Christ is my Lord. I don't believe that any Jew should be hated and killed like they were hated and killed 6 million in the Holocaust. I don't accept that. It's a crime. I don't accept the killing of any Muslim, any Christian in any part of the world, whether in Ghana or any part of the world. What had been done is evil, not just against Muslims or against Christians, but against the entire human race. And the perpetrators must be held accountable. That's what we are saying. Akufo to the program Testimony New World Disorder. Now, when I left the soil of Ghana, when eventually got me to the US, we are getting something. We will get back to this US undercover agent. Then you know the kind of killer that she is. But let's get to know what we need to do. How much they have exploited the innocent Muslims of Ghana, clad on their back while they were getting their own people. They are getting their people killed. And eventually go play the chief imam that he must spearhead an agenda, he must spearhead a peace pact to get John Dramani Mahama append his signature, agree to it. You agree to it, they say we have rigged the election. We have used the court to play you. You cannot do anything about it. You have signed the peace pact. They have climbed at the back of Muslim one more time to do that. They have exploited it one more time. So if Ghana had been set aflame, they would have said that the chief imam was the head of that. There were people that I hold this book together with, who have done this evil and must continue to play Ghana with the politicians, religious and diplomats, because they have made money, mansions and cars. Ghana, Akufo to the program Testimony New World Disorder. I was a school teacher. I taught in St. Paul's Methodist Preparatory School. 7 years before leaving, for the setup, and I got to the soil of America, because of how helpful that Muslim family and that Muslim woman was to me. When I got to the US, my entitlement for serving 7 years at the St. Paul's Methodist Preparatory School, all the money that the school was to pay to me, it was that liberating, because I was not in Ghana, who was living in my rented home. I've rented a home for 2 years, and I've lived there just like 2 months before I was set up. So he had to come live there and take care of my property for me. He was that Libedi who was used to set up Israel. He was the individual that I sent to St. Paul's Methodist Preparatory School to go take all my money. And that money, you know who that money went to? That Muslim woman who helped me with the family when I was in Ghana. I made that Libedi go give the money to a family friend of that Muslim family. She was called Monica Paddy. The husband was called Tete Paddy. He was also he was in US. Now, that Monica Paddy, before I was a church member with her, and Paul Ambene, CIA operative, who was in secret love relationship with my wife. That Paul Ambene, Monica Paddy, were all in the same church. What happened in that church is there was a man of God who has hazarded his life. He was a deacon. He has hazarded his life for the ministry. The church was called CACW in committee 10 Tema, but they changed the name to New Central. Oh, but God is good. BNI was changing his name. Ghana Airways had been grounded. Criminal minds in that church. They must clean up. Yeah, the name of the church was changed to New Central. Ghana Aqua program testimony, New World Disorder. In that church, before that was way before I even went to fellowship with Assemblies of God. Assemblies of God, that was where I was baptized as a Christian when I was a young boy by Reverend Amponsa. But along the line, that same Moses Alobu invited me to that. He was a member of the CACW and invited me there. So once a while I was visiting the church, and it was a church that was struggling. The man of God had vision, but they had a membership problem. So I had to commit myself to help the church. And I became a member of that church briefly. It was that church that Paul Ambene, the secret boyfriend of this US undercover, who became the secret boyfriend of this US undercover agent, the CIA operative that I was fellowshipping with. When I was in the US, when they accepted me up to US, I had to send that Libedi to go take my monies, my entitlement, all the money that I made, and go give it to that Monica Paddy, who was a family friend to, they were like next door neighbors. They were neighbors to the Muslim family, and she was my former church member. So I went there. I made Libedin go there, go give the money to Monica Paddy, and let her give it to the Muslim family, the lady, and say thank you to her for their help for me when I was in Ghana. Humanity and the nations of the world. Just like that Libedin was used by the religious minds who have colluded with politicians and diplomatic minds to sell me out. They have to use that Monica Paddy to exploit that Muslim family. They never knew that in America, my innocent life was being used. I have been held by the FBI, CIA, the NSA, the Police Service of America. They were torturing me. They were getting innocent, the agenda of killing innocent Muslims going at my back. The Muslim family didn't know. Otherwise, they would have stood, because they are Muslims too. They would not have their fellow Muslim being killed at the back of a Christian. They will not accept that. That Monica Paddy exploited that Christian and that Muslim family. She received from the crime network of Nana Addo Akufo and their stakes in America. She received her car as far back as 2009. The general reward was money mentioning that she received a car in 2000, as far back as 2009. The Muslim family received no car because maybe they are not Christians. Maybe they don't belong to the tribe of that Monica Paddy. Now, why that Monica Paddy had to stab me with the husband, who was then in US. So the husband was in US before I got there. They had to recruit the husband into the crime network and then selling me out. I am that Moses Alombu, that criminal, that dangerous guy. Brand me a Muslim. People that have fellowship with the house of God with. Now, let me tell you one thing. According to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. In that CACW church, I have forgotten the full name. Central Assemblies of Christ Witnesses. Yeah, Central Assembly of Christ Witnesses. And they changed the name to New Central. They want to be like it's about changing the name, like if you call it Central ICGC, International Central Gospel Church. They have people, so maybe if you change the name, they also get people. It's about spreading the word of truth. Ghana, Aquaba to the program Testimony New World Disorder. Now, in that church, why Associate Pastor Paul Ambene and some members of the church, Monica Paddy, Tete Paddy, who was in US, they had to collude and get me destroyed while they were exploiting that Muslim family. Why they had to do that is, in Ghana, that church had a deacon called Deacon Emmanuel Ashiti and the wife, Mrs. Eva Ashiti. They were that man, Deacon Emmanuel Ashiti. He was a friend to the pastor in school days, Kumasi Poly, and they were served the Lord together. They came to in Tema. They established the church together. The man has spent his money, his days, years in supporting the church. But for some reason, the church didn't like, so some individuals that animosity, they didn't like the wife. of the man, Madame Eva Ashiti. As the church was having church growth problem, they decided to merge with one of the false prophets who had come from one of the regions of Ghana, named they are there playing false prophet. They are on the radio making. They brought one into that church, and he came for like some few days revival when I was in the church, and at the in the course he came with his church members. So at the end of it all, they wanted to merge these two churches so that the church would get numbers. And being that they are merging, they have to find a way of incorporate that new so-called prophet into leadership, and they have to devise a means of suppressing the elder Emmanuel Ashite and the wife. So they devise a strategy of they making the prophet declare the Emmanuel Eva Ashite's wife, Deacon Ashite's wife, Madame Eva Ashite, declare her a witch. They declared her a witch, and there were some in the church that know that that was not true. And the woman she loves God, has helped the church with her money, with her husband. The only challenge is she didn't have a child. So they wanted to claim that she's a witch, that's why she doesn't have. A church was doing this. I was not happy. This was before I was set up in Uganda. I was not happy when the church, some church members, Paul Ambene and the other cliques of the church, they colluded and did this to Eva Ashite. So eventually, the church broke up. Deacon Ashite and the wife, they had to stop the church. When they stopped the church, I was totally shocked as to how evil the church has been used to treat Mr. Deacon Ashite and the wife, Mrs. Eva Ashite. They eventually went to fellowship with Maranatha in Nungwa. They are still Mr. Deacon Ashite is now associate pastor in Maranatha Church, Nungwa. We have heard that name. I've gone to visit him a few times when I was in Ghana. I'm still in Ghana. This time I haven't been able to visit, but he can testify that when the wife was falsely accused as a witch, I went to that house, the house of the pastor, one day to sit with the head pastor, and I wanted to find out from him what he believes about that and why the pastor has been accused. The pastors have been accused to that extent of because I know that was wrong and it was evil, it was criminal. That what has been done. When I went to the pastor, I sat with him one-on-one, and he is a wonderful man of God. But unfortunately, because of the numbers that the new pastor had brought, he didn't know how to, he couldn't stand for the truth and expose that man of God and ask him to out. He cannot treat his church member like that, but he allowed that to go on. I went to talk to him, and from what what he told me, you see, not that the woman is a witch, but the woman, she's the one that have accepted that she's a witch. Can you imagine that? She's not a witch, but she has accepted the tag of a witch. So in a way, I saw he knows that that is wrong, and because of that stand that he was endorsing, finding me to endorse that witch tag against the family of Deacon Ashite who have come out of the church, I also had to take a stand for Christ and leave that church of CACW, Central Assemblies of Christ, I left that church. I was somebody that hazarded my life for the church so far as evangelism and helping the church to grow was concerned. So when I left the church, after having gone to meet the head pastor, they, Paul Ambene, Monica Paddy, and they all they developed hatred for me, but could not openly tell me. So when I had sent Libedin, when I was in US, he has gone for the money, take the money and go to give to the Muslim family, this Muslim lady. At the same time, she was exploiting that Muslim family and aiding the husband, the crime network, Moses Alobu, his cousins, Patrick Kitche, and the crime network, Daniel Kitche in United Kingdom. All they must work together with a Paul Ambene, the CIA operative of that church. Ghana must go check the passport of Paul Ambene. Between 2006 and 2012, when His Excellency John Evans Fifi Atameo's life was captured, they killed him in secrecy. Ghana must go check how many times was that Paul Ambene flown to US, United Kingdom, and for the pursuit of the evil agenda at the expense of my blood, my back, while they were getting Muslims killed. It was that same guy that when I had come to Ghana with my family in 2011, in midnight, almost 12 midnight, I caught her in my uncle's home, dating my wife on the phone behind me, a preacher. Meanwhile, he also had he had married for over 20, but by now it is over 35 years. He has no child, and yet he must accuse another family of not having a child. They are witches. Ghana, Akufo to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. Libedin is an angel because they used her to play Israel. I am that Moses Alobu. I am that criminal. I was married to a Muslim family. When I was going to flying to the US, they accepted me. He took me to. He accompanied me to there. He knows me. This is an intelligent report. The general reward is money, mansions, and cars. They know that the nation has no idea as to the number of people, Ghanaians, that have been removed from the country into various countries of the nations of the world. US, Canada, United Kingdom, Europe. This issue affects every single nation of the world because the evil minds that were used to orchestrate this evil, they are very dangerous. Very dangerous. All they think about is themselves. Money, mansions, and cars. The portion of the Ghanaian people must be abject poverty, total helplessness. Invent poverty and put it on them, so much that you are susceptible, prone. They can buy your mind with $10 while they have made money, mansions, and cars unto themselves. Go and check Afienya, Afienya, white signboard. You would realize that Moses, the mansion that has been raised for him, the cars. Eventually, his colleagues, the government of Nana Addo Akufo Addo, they have made him, they were supplying him with arms, bullets, guns. They, as part of cover up, they had to make him, he is now a preacher, and he has done that evil, and God doesn't know it. He has repented, and he is dealing in arms. When I came to Ghana for the 2017-2019 mission, because he was posing as a pastor, I had to give him a benefit of the doubt and hold him as a fellow Christian. He came to pick me at the airport, hosted me in his home. Little did I know that the government of Nana Addo Akufo Addo, they have armed him well. Guns, pistol, bullets. He should create domestic violence between me and the wife. They have the police, the military, all in cahoot with him. That violent break out, and then he shoots me in self-defense of the wife. Eventually, God helped me. On the day that they were going to execute the assassination, I fled from the home when the wife was being made to attack me. I got out of the door, and there were the military. They made the wife come out of the room and start attacking me, hitting me before the military that were lying wait with their guns. They thought that I would run. I'll be running out of the home, but I just walked quickly and stepped out of the main gate. I got there, they were there. So if I was running, it was a thief that had come to the home, and they shot him. They made the wife attack me, hit me, while the husband, Moses Alobu, was lying wait, networking with the military. Eventually, that night I have to make some calls, and the next day I had to leave the home. When I left the home, they believed that my pastor, Reverend Dr. David Nabemado, was the one that was giving me hints about all their plots. With the CID headquarters, which has kept me in surveillance, Ghana Police Service, top ranking, secretly, in Ashama, Philo Street. And they were persecuting me in secrecy. Eventually, they plotted to get my pastor killed, that Moses Alobu, that network. The terror of they had to come plot, kill my pastor, immediately remove the libation, flew him quickly to US. He needs to be protected. The police headquarters, the CID, all those that had put me under surveillance and were tracking me to the church to go kill my pastor. They are the same people that are investigating the killing of Reverend Dr. David Nabemado. The killers are the people that are investigating it. So you understand. And they have flown liberating out after they have made him too. As at then, he had become an international flyer, and he had come back to Ghana. They orchestrated the killing. They fly him out quickly to US. Go closer to the FBI. Go closer to the CIA. Go, let them protect you. Reverend Doctor, you have been killed. Guess what God did? Within the matter of months, after they have killed my pastor, Reverend Dr. David Nabemado, the just God of the Bible vindicated Reverend Dr. David Nabemado. The wife of Moses Alobu the criminal, the arms dealer, an assassin who plotted to get me killed in his home to cover up the crimes of Nana Addo Akufo, John Ejekum Kufuor, political mind, diplomatic mind, religious mind in Ghana, and their cronies in America. That guy, the just God of the Bible, let the wife die out of cancer. God avenged Reverend Dr. David Nabemado at the expense on the wife. You have killed his faithful servant of God, and you are branding him a Muslim. Within a matter of months, 2 months thereafter, God killed the wife to close the case, to prove himself as a just God. Blessed ones of the nations of the world. Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. Money, mansions, and cars. It is the innocent that were killed and are getting killed eventually. My family members, we have been killed and we are getting killed and being sought night and day by the same police headquarters, FBI, politicized national security, the government of Nana Addo Akufo, the same minds that were used to sell the Ghanaian on a modern day slave airline, caged by the hand of God at the Kotoka International Airport. The same minds. And God doesn't know anything about it. But it's a just God that created all men in his image and in his likeness. He doesn't hate the Muslim. He doesn't hate the Jew. He doesn't hate the Christian. He sent his only begotten Son to come into this world, to die and rise again on the behalf of the entire human race. Christ Jesus for all nations, people, tongue, race. It is him that I present to you and I as the man who kept my precious life from being taken. No matter how many lives of my people that have been taken, including my precious family members whose blood has been shed. The God of Daniel never dies. Therefore, Daniel never dies. God bless you. And God bless my homeland, Ghana. Bye-bye. Part 5.